Hey guys, and welcome. This is part 2 of a mini-series on how to make harmonica tabs for popular songs that already exist, all tabbed out for you in Guitar Pro. We're just going to convert them to harmonica. If you haven't watched part 1, you should do that already. The link is down below in the description. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how I go through this process in a much slower format. I'm going to show you how all the technology works. I'm going to give you a chart on how to convert these notes to a harmonica in the key of C, and I'm also going to be showing you all of the pitfalls that you may run into and what you can do to make your process go a lot more smoothly so you have success learning songs in this method. So without further ado, let's get into today's lesson. Hey guys, so what we're doing today, as I mentioned last week, is we're taking the standard notation melody from Guitar Pro song and turning it into harmonica music. For this week's example, we're going to be using Jingle Bells, at least to start, to show you how you go through this process a little bit slower this time. I know that a lot of my audience is a little bit older. The technology knowledge might not all be the same, so I want to really just break it down this week so you can have success doing this on your own. So we are going to be using this Ultimate Guitar website here, and we are going to be searching up Jingle Bells. Okay, so I'm going to look up Jingle Bells here. I already had it typed out. Actually, let's try that again. All right, so Jingle Bells. So now as we're looking down here, we're going to want the Guitar Pro tabs. The other things, this is for acoustic guitar players. The tab is like regular written out tabs for guitarists, so that's not very useful. What we want is Guitar Pro. I usually look for the highest ratings, 164, that's probably the best bet. And it will load up in this like demo player here, and what we can do is we can go and find what tracks that this has, and we're going to want something that says melody or vocals. That's what we're going to use. So this one has it. We can even take a listen to a demo. And that's going to work for us. So we're going to scroll all the way down here and click Download Guitar Pro tab. All right, that's the one. Now let's go jump into Guitar Pro and check this out. All right, here is the song loaded up in Guitar Pro. As Kayla mentioned last week, the first thing, the absolute first thing that you need to do is change the key. So this song is in the key of G major. I just know that by knowing music, but if we click the little key signature button right there, okay, we will see note G. There we go, G major. So we're going to want to change this to C, but this will tell us what key we're starting in. Let's leave it for now. So G major, we want to go to C. Let's think. We have G, then we go to G sharp, A sharp, B, then C. So you count every step that you move. So that's 5 half steps. So we're going to Tools, Transpose, All Bars, All Tracks, 5 half steps, or a perfect fourth. Okay, now the song is in the key of C. So that's all you need to do. And let's change the key signature just so things aren't wonky. So we're going to change that to C. And there we are. Okay, so now we need to translate this to harmonica. And I have made a chart out here. I have this available as an image. It will be linked down below in the description. You can save the image and print it out and use this as a reference as you are tabbing songs. Okay, so what we're going to do here, let's go hide that guitar tab just to make it cleaner. This button over here will take this panel away or put it back. So we're going to have it there. And we will turn off the tablature notation for guitarists. And there we go. We have our melody. All right, so this first note here, if we checked our chart, we can see where it is. All right, so if you find that, that's an E. That's 5 below. Now, something I want to add is that harmonica, the notes are kind of high on the musical staff, and the notes on the lower end of the staff, like on this octave here, are kind of hard to play because there's some bends. So if you know how to bend, you could do all this as written, especially down here will be a little challenging. As you can see, let's try to find a note here. This A right here, if we look at our chart, is 3 3 draw, whole step bend. So that's a little tough to hit. So in a situation like that, if you're not able to bend, what we would want to do is we'd want to transpose it up the octave. So we can go selection or all bars. That would just be easier. Current track is fine. And you're going to click a perfect octave. All right, so now our track is in the higher octave. And if this stuff is too hard to read for you, you can always just select everything. I just click, then shift, and then click down here. That's how you select things, like in a sequence there. And then you can click this button 8 Va, and it's just going to move the notes down the octave so you can read them a little bit better. Okay? So we can go and learn this now in the higher register, but that's only worth doing if you can't bend yet. If you can bend, I think this actually fits really well how it was written originally. And we would just go figure this out. So that this note here is an E. It's 5 blow. And we can go and tab in the extra notes by pressing T. So T, and then your number, and then there we go. So this is your shorthand. If you don't want to redo all of these things on every single note, you don't have to. If you get good at this, you can even read standard notation like this on a C harmonica, and that would save you a lot of time. All right, so we can keep working this out. Now this note here, if we look at our chart here, that is a G, so that's 6 blow. Now I can already read this, but we're just going through the steps, right? So 6 blow. This is a, let's see, it's a C. Okay, so we have a C, that's 4 blow. And you just go work through the whole song like this. If you want to play around with a tab like this, I will link the whole song tabbed out in the description to this video. Again, when you come to the verse here, it's going to be in the lower octave of the harmonica. As an example, that's 2 draw, so we're quite low here. So some notes might be a little bit more challenging if you don't know how to bend. And if that's you, you're going to want to jump it up the octave. So if you get the steps that I'm doing here, you can just go and tab this whole song out. One thing I didn't mention here, you see these numbers above the tab. Yours may not look like this. So what I did here is I went to File, Style Sheet, and Text and Styles. So it usually starts there. So you're going to want to click this and click Text here. And my font that I use is WorkSons at 9. That's what I do, but you can just play around with it, find something you like, and that's going to change the above note text, which is going to be your harmonica tab, to a font that's a little bit easier to read, at least from a distance, okay? If you are enjoying today's video, would you do me a favor and click the like button? It helps the YouTube robots know that you're enjoying this video and you would like it to spread to more people. Helps me out a lot. Thank you guys for clicking the like button, and let's continue on with today's lesson. Now, you can go through this process with most songs, okay? So up here, you could do it with Hey Joe, you could do it with Wish You Were Here, Sweet Home Alabama, all those kind of songs. Staying on the Christmas theme, and to demonstrate something in particular, I want to go take a look at this song here, All I Want for Christmas Is You. So let's go search that up. Now, this is not a song that I'd particularly want to learn on harmonica, but it brings up a particular challenge, which is why I'm using this as an example. So we would go and find this Guitar Pro tab. I usually do the one that has the most votes here, so let's go do that. And we can see all the different parts here. So this one has a melody, so that's going to work for us. So we scroll down, and then we download the tab down here. So I've already done that, and I've loaded it up into Guitar Pro. So you'll probably see this when you start it. So here's just all the different tracks. So you want to click Melody, okay, and then we can hide that by clicking this button here. All right, so this is what we have so far by default. So using this side panel over here, we can take away the tabs. And now we have to go through this process. So let's go do it one more time as an example. So first, our key signature. So if we click that, we'll see that we're in the key of D major. So let's go change that to C major. Okay. Now D major is a whole step above a C. So D, D sharp, C. So we would want to transpose down this time. So transpose, and we're going to transpose down -2, 2 half steps or a major second. All right, so now this song is in the key of C. Now, harmonica presents a very particular challenge in that we don't have all of the notes in every octave. Some of those notes are hidden behind bends, and some of those notes are hidden behind overblows. So when you see a note like this F sharp here, it has that little sharp sign, and that's called an accidental. So if you see an accidental, we have left the key of C major. Okay, usually it's like a leading tone into this G, as this example shows. So if we go to our chart here, what do we have? So if we find our F in this octave, so that's a 5 draw. Okay, now we can't play an F sharp here because that's a half step above this. If it was, let's say, if the F was a blow note, and you wanted a half step, which is a half step above, you could do a draw a little bit above that. But that's not the case here. We don't have that note. So this song actually would not be playable on a diatonic harmonica unless you knew how to overblow. So overblowing is a very difficult technique. I don't think most harmonica players know how to do it. And if you encounter a situation like this, either you skip that note if you can, or you just don't learn that song, because sometimes you're going to find songs that have notes that the harmonica as a diatonic instrument just can't play. And if that's the situation you're in, just go find a different song to learn. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. If you're watching this in the future, click this link up here to watch part 3. And for everyone else, why don't you consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss future lessons? That's it for this week. Peace.